Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talkshow podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor Gear.
About what you just said, cuz. But I'll let that one pass. But no, it is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we come almost into the idea of meeting people for the first time, or whether as friends, even distant family perhaps, or colleagues or anything else. When you meet someone for the first time, there's different views amongst those concerned, the specialists, the scientists, as to how quickly we actually form an impression of somebody. Some people say 7 seconds. Others have said, well, it's about 15 seconds. But either way, we do form a very quick impression of somebody, don't we? For whatever reasons, probably reasons almost that our brain is sorting out in the subconscious that we're not even fully aware of. So, yeah, I think it is very important that dress and how you present yourself is a part of that. I guess there's other things. I don't know, do we sense an aura about people? We all supposedly have an aura around us in the colour of one sort or another. Maybe we pick that up at a subconscious level as well. But either way, very quickly we form an opinion. And the programme I used to watch, a series a few years ago with Hugh Laurie, was House, Dr. House. Did you ever watch that? Yeah. To me, it was one of the finest series I've ever really watched. We're up there with the best of them. He was a doctor who was able to diagnose what were inevitably complicated symptoms, and other doctors, they tried everything, they couldn't find the answer. And anyway, the great thing about that series was that he was always coming out in each episode with great comments which sort of stuck with you. And one was, he often used to say, everybody lies. And by that, I think he meant how often, just something I'm thinking, how often are we really our true selves with other people? Now, we all got different hats, different relationships with different people, but how often are we really ourselves? Do we really live behind this almost a facade, a game face, if you like, that we put on depending on where we are? I suspect that is true, that we do, not because we want specifically to hide parts of ourselves, but it's just human nature, isn't it, to perhaps want to make the best impression, which is not saying we're lying, but maybe it's really, everybody lies, is saying, well, we're not giving everything of ourselves, etc., etc. And this is most important or most noticeable when people first meet, I think. So, yeah, how we dress, how we look is very important. And I think hoodies are very smart, and I'd have thrown you off the bus as you weren't wearing that in your comment. but actually, the point I want to make really is that he said everybody lies, and he said three other comments. He said, the eyes can mislead. So you look at someone for the first time, and we actually do look at people's eyes, and they speak so much. It's like the windows of the soul, isn't it? They can give someone away. They give us away. If people who are telling lies, maybe your dad picked up that your eyes were not, you were a bit awkward, and you said you had this headache to avoid school, and you really didn't. I don't know, but the eyes give a lot away. So he said the eyes can mislead. The smile can lie. Well, we all know that, don't we? We can all smile in some circumstances, but if we're not smiling again with our eyes, it's a fake smile, and that can be seen. So he said the eyes can mislead, the smile can lie, but the shoes always tell the truth. And I really liked that, because actually, I think I've always thought it's important to have good quality shoes, as good a quality as you can afford, really, because somebody else once said you should have a good quality bed and a good quality pair of shoes, because if you're not in one, you're in the other. Which I thought was quite clever, but it is true. And I think it's when I first heard that years ago watching Dr. House, for a while I did find myself looking at people's shoes, even just people walking along. And of course, we all know, we all wear trainers. I suppose I wear trainers much of the time, really, if I'm not going to some event or function. And I like good trainers. I mean, we're not here to give adverts, but there's ones that are very well known. They're just brilliant, and you feel like you're walking on air. So it's good to have those for your feet anyway. But actually, if you really want to be smart and impress somebody, I'm a great believer. You've got a nice, ideally expensive pair of shoes, which really complete a look with a nice suit or whatever you're actually doing. So I always remember that the shoes always tell the truth. I guess the converse of that is if we're wearing some scruffy old shoes, maybe, I don't know, maybe that says something about us, that we're not paying attention to all of those things. So really, going back to summarize what we've said, it's good to be positive, good to be optimistic in life. Very easy to say these words when we all have issues.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.